All right, let's talk about properties of a rectangle. To the left here, we have a rectangle, and we also have the diagonals drawn. All right, first of all, we're going to discuss that a rectangle is an equiangular parallelogram. Now, equiangular, we've talked about this one before. Equiangular means equal angles. Now, it's a equiangular, which means all of the angles are congruent. So let's mark them 90 degrees. All of them are 90 degrees. That's why they're called equiangular. Okay, now it's a parallelogram. So after we mark the angles, we also have to mark the sides. Now in a parallelogram, we already know that the sides are parallel. Opposite sides are parallel. So we have two pairs of parallel lines. Okay, so let's draw these over here as well. Okay, now what we also know in a parallelogram is, and in blue, I'm going to mark that the opposite sides are congruent. So this side right here is going to be congruent with this side right here. And this side over here, marked with two lines, is going to be congruent with this side over here. That's what it gives you for a parallelogram. So if you're ever asked if a rectangle is a parallelogram, then your answer is yes, because it matches everything. All right, it has parallel sides, it has congruent sides. Now in this case, let's take number 2 out here. We're going to be talking about opposite sides are congruent, which we marked. Okay, also has two pair of parallel lines, which we already marked. Okay, then diagonals are congruent, which means those right here, everything from here to here and from here to here, they are congruent, which makes those lines right here, all of them congruent. Actually, let's mark them with a smiley face. I think that's much better. All of them have a smiley face, which means they're all congruent. Okay, and lastly, okay, diagonals bisect each other. So if they are congruent, if the entire diagonal has two smiley faces, then the other diagonal has to have two smiley faces. So that means each segment is going to be congruent. Those are the properties of a rectangle, so let's review them. A rectangle is an equiangular parallelogram. Equiangular means all of the angles are 90, so maybe I should really write this over here. All angles are 90 degrees. All right, has opposite sides congruent, so those two right here and those right here are congruent, and also two pairs of parallel lines. Diagonals are congruent, and they also bisect each other. All right, that was it.